The Houston Texans just did it. And I don't even know how to explain what they just did. It was so good. Let me turn my volume up for you here. All right. I don't even know how to explain what they just did, but they just went out and got the number one guy in free agency. Now, I understand that when free agency began, Danielle Hunter, yes, they got Danielle Hunter, was sitting there at 3 or 4 because Chris Jones was there, Burns, things like that, and he's a little bit older at 29. But now you're sitting here and you have to say they just got the best remaining free agent in the draft or in free agency. So what did they pay for him? Here you go. Danielle Hunter and the Texans agree to a 2-year, not 4, 2-year, $48 million contract. The deal is worth $49 million. Almost 100% of it is guaranteed. And I'm going to tell you why this just makes so much sense. See, Danielle Hunter's 29 years old. Now, he's a young 29. He'll still be 29 next year, but by the end of the year, he will be 30. So he will play his age 29, 30, and he will be 31 the next time he is a free agent. So this makes sense because what Danielle Hunter's doing is he's taking a chapter out of the Kirk Cousins book of how to get a ton of guaranteed money. And Kirk Cousins is saying, you're welcome. I'm glad I showed you. So what Danielle Hunter is doing here is he's betting on himself. He's saying, I'm going to take a fully guaranteed contract for 2 years. And then when I'm 31, I can go out and I can get another 2 or even 3-year contract if I continue to play well. This is great for the Houston Texans because it doesn't bring you so far down the line that you have Danielle Hunter on the books when you have to pay C.J. Stroud, when you have to pay Stingley, when you have to pay Will Anderson, all these guys that eventually you're going to have to go out and pay. It doesn't hamstring them by doing 2 years. And Hunter says, all right, I'm going to go get 2 more big paydays. Now, I know what you're thinking. All right, 2 years, $48 million. But I saw like Christian Wilkins do a 3 or a 4-year, $110 million. So he's sitting there at about $27.5 million a year, right? $27.5 million a year. But how much of that was guaranteed, right? I mean, you're talking 60 of that guaranteed. So basically, it's a 2.5-year guaranteed contract. They can play him the 3rd year. They could get out if they wanted to, but they more than likely will end up cutting him for the 4th year or letting him go or restructuring. Danielle Hunter is saying instead of letting the team control what happens for the back 2 years, my 31 and 32 age season, and I don't hit free agency again until I'm 33, he's saying, I want to hit free agency again in my young 30s so I can get another big contract. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. So he did a good job of understanding how this goes. All right. And here, Danielle Hunter, just to get an idea, first we'll talk contract, then we'll talk about what he brings to the Texans. So he's going to get $48 million over the next 2 years. He has made pretty good money. He started off in his rookie campaign. He was a 3rd round pick, and he didn't get paid a lot because he was a 3rd round pick. Then in 2018, he started getting paid, got a 2-year, I believe, $40 million contract after that. And so everything was going well. And now he has chosen to go for another 2-year contract. So what does this mean for the Houston Texans? Oh my goodness, you have gone from, hey, we know we need to shore up our defense to, do the Texans have one of the best defenses in the AFC? You're not there yet, but you definitely have a playoff caliber defense to go with one of the best offenses. So you now have the best 1-2 punch, I think, on the edge that I can think of right now in the league with Anderson Jr., all right, and Danielle Hunter. That is going to wreak havoc on quarterbacks. And here's the thing about both of these guys. They're not as bad as you think against the run. All right, Danielle Hunter doesn't have a great run defense grade, all right, but he actually ends up playing it a little bit better than you'd think just because of his athletic ability. All right, he's 6'5", 263. He's bigger than you think. He's taller than you think. Will Anderson, everybody was like, oh, he's not going to be able to play the run. Dude just ended up having a better run defense grade than a pass rush grade. And he was a phenomenal pass rusher. So now you put offenses in this position where if you can get them into 3rd and long, and they get into obvious passing downs, now all of a sudden you're like, pick your poison. You can't double team both of them. And if you double team both of them, it's easy to cover, right? So what are you going to do? How are you going to attack this defense? They're not going to give you time. And then you went and you added Danico Autry, who all he is a pass rushing interior specialist. I understand he's older, but he's very good at pass rushing. And you sit here, it's almost impossible to double team him. And if you want to double team him, then you have Malik Collins, who, by the way, that's what he does well too. So you have this team all of a sudden for pass rush that is absolutely phenomenal. I don't like what's going on with the second corner right now in Okudah. All right, but we'll kind of see what that looks like. We're going to see what that looks like. Now, while I'm talking about this, real quick, before I go to what your salary cap looks like for a team now, I do want to say, hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We've been doing Texans videos since before the season started, and we absolutely love having you here. If you haven't subscribed yet and have watched a few videos, hit that subscribe button. We want to be your go-to spot for Texans content. We love recording and talking about teams that the NFL ignores, and we've really narrowed it down to the Texans and the Browns. So you're going to see a Texans video almost every single day. So this is not updated with the Danielle Hunter contract situation yet because we don't know what they all are. We don't know what Joe Mixon's going to be. I'll do another video on Joe Mixon and kind of what that allows you to do as well. But it says your estimated cap space left is $40 million. You can go ahead and cut that probably by about $25 million with Danielle Hunter. And you're getting to a point where you're pretty close to the end because GMs like to have a little wiggle room. I think what my favorite part about all this, all right, I think what my favorite thing about all this is you got Danielle Hunter. If you are reading this, there's two things that are my favorite. If you're reading this article, it was saying that his estimated contract, we'll go to this one, was going to be 3 years, $67.5 million. So in other words, $22.5 million per year with $47.5 million guaranteed. You paid $2 million more than that, but you got a year off. It's unbelievably good for both Hunter and I think it's good for the Texans. My other favorite part about this signing is that Houston Texans fans, some of you were freaking out like, oh man, why are they so cheap? I mean, we even had people commenting like, season tickets, see ya. And it's like, whoa, you're a playoff team. You just got to build on that. But you built on that. You brought your own players back, and now you're going out and making the big splash move in free agency when you had the money to do it. That is saying that this organization believes you are ready to win now. All right, you're ready to win this year. And that is a big, big deal, and that is big news. I'm going to talk about that more in a video that I put out tomorrow because there was a really good trade that you guys did as well, and we're going to talk about that. But for right now, let's just be excited. You got Danielle Hunter. You have the best edge combo in the NFL, hands down, bar none, and you have a phenomenal quarterback. What could be better? Seriously, how does it get better? This is really exciting. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one.